Chosen one, you may have felt the deep ache in your heart, a longing for the one meant to walk alongside you, your soulmate. But despite the yearning, you find yourself waiting. The love story that you've envisioned seems delayed, and you wonder why. Why does it feel like the timing is off? Why is your heart restless, yet your soulmate is still not here? Let me remind you, this is no accident. What you're experiencing is divine orchestration. Heaven has been working behind the scenes, preparing not just your heart, but your life for something far greater than you can yet see. The silence you're experiencing is a divine pause, an invitation to step into something deeper, more meaningful, and more aligned with the purpose God has for you. It's important to recognize that your longing is real. It's a powerful desire placed within you by God Himself. Yet, understand that this delay is not punishment nor withholding, but protection. God is shaping you, refining your spirit, and aligning your path for what's ahead. This period of waiting, though challenging, is a season of internal growth. It is a time for your soul to prepare. As it says in Ecclesiastes 3:1, there is a time for everything. Everything has its season. What's unfolding now is part of a divine plan. Trust that the timing will come, and the vision God has placed in your heart will unfold at the appointed moment. Chosen one, I understand the longing in your heart. You've felt it, haven't you? That quiet ache, that deep sense of something missing, like a void that no amount of distraction or external accomplishment seems to fill. It's almost as if you've been waiting for something or someone to come and make everything fall into place. And in this waiting, you may have asked yourself, why does it feel like love, the thing I desire the most, keeps slipping away or eluding me? But chosen one, what if I told you that what you're experiencing isn't the absence you think it is? What if this feeling isn't a sign of something being missing, but of something being hidden? You see, what you're calling absence is, in reality, divine concealment. It's easy to mistake what you're feeling as a void, something that needs to be filled or that's missing. Absence has a way of tricking you into believing that you're lacking. But what if that absence is actually a protective measure, a way for God to conceal what's precious until the right time? After all, you've known this, haven't you? That when something is valuable, it's often hidden away, not because it isn't needed, but because it requires time, nurturing, and preparation. Chosen one, the truth is, you are not being left without. You are being hidden, not abandoned. God's plan has been at work behind the scenes, preparing what is yours and shaping your love story. Just like a rare diamond that's carefully buried deep in the earth, your divine love is being concealed for now, but it is being shaped, nurtured, and crafted in perfect timing. The difference between absence and concealment, you see, is immense. Absence suggests a lack, a void that is empty, that leaves you yearning and wondering if you're somehow unworthy of what you long for. Concealment, however, is a strategic choice made by God to guard something precious, something that has to be kept safe until it's the right time for it to be revealed. In this season, chosen one, you might feel an intense yearning, like the void is getting larger. But remember, this is part of God's design. He is holding your heart's desire in His hands, carefully tending to it so that when the time is right, it will be yours, complete, fulfilling, and perfect. The delay, the wait, and even the seeming absence are not a punishment, not signs of unworthiness. They are proof that something valuable is being protected. Think about the precious stones of the earth. They are buried deep, hidden away, protected from harm, from the wrong hands, and from being mishandled. They need time, pressure, and the right conditions to form into the valuable treasure they are meant to become. Similarly, what you seek, whether love, purpose, or even fulfillment, is being shielded from the world, kept safe in the hands of God until the perfect moment arrives for it to be revealed to you. Do you know that when God hides something from you, it's not because you aren't worthy of it. It's the exact opposite. It's because you are worthy of something greater. You are worth the wait. You are worth the process. And just as you wouldn't give a diamond to someone who isn't ready to handle its value, God is not revealing your true love or your destiny until He knows you are ready to receive it with the fullness of your heart. Chosen one, you may have wondered, why is this taking so long? Or why does it seem like the thing I desire the most is always just out of reach? You've questioned if you'll ever find the love that you know is meant for you. But I want you to pause for a moment. I want you to realize that this time of waiting is not about the absence of love. It's about divine concealment, the preparation for something greater than you can imagine. In this period of waiting, God is doing something incredible within you. You are being prepared, not just for a future relationship, but for a future that aligns perfectly with His will for your life. The discomfort, the longing, the waiting, it's all part of God's process of refinement. In these quiet moments, where it feels like nothing is moving, God is at work, shaping your heart, refining your spirit, and preparing you for the greatest gift He has in store.
This time of concealment is a season of protection. God knows the value of what He's bringing into your life, and He's holding it close to His heart until you're ready. Do you trust in this process, chosen one? Do you trust that the silence, the waiting, and the feeling of absence are all part of a divine plan to bring you closer to your true destiny? What you might feel as absence, as something missing, is actually a divine pause. It's a necessary season of growth, a time for you to become more aligned with your purpose, with God's will for your life, and with the love that is coming your way. Remember, God's timing is perfect, and nothing, absolutely nothing, is by accident. In the waiting, chosen one, you are not forgotten. Your love story, your purpose, your journey, they are all being carefully prepared, and God is holding the right person, the right opportunities, and the right blessings for you. And when the time is right, when the preparation has been completed, everything will fall into place in the most beautiful and unexpected way. You won't need to rush. You won't need to search. What is meant for you will find you, and it will be worth the wait. Trust in God's timing, chosen one. Trust in the concealment, because it is only temporary. What has been hidden will soon be revealed, and it will be more beautiful, more fulfilling, and more aligned with your heart's desires than you ever imagined. So remember this: the absence you feel is not a lack. It's a divine pause, and in this season of waiting, God is preparing something extraordinary for you. Stay faithful, stay trusting, and in due time, the divine revelation will come, and you will see just how perfect God's timing truly is. Chosen one, let's take a moment to breathe, reflect, and understand the reality of timing, especially God's timing versus our own.
You've been in a season of waiting, haven't you? You've felt the frustration, the anxiety, and the confusion of waiting for the breakthrough that seems to always be just out of reach. You've asked yourself, why is this taking so long? Or why has it been delayed? But hear this now, chosen one. God's timing is never late, and it's never early. It is always perfect. Your human urgency, the rush to push forward, the impatience you feel, is something that you've come to accept as part of your nature. But I want to remind you, it's not about speed, it's about alignment. You are not being delayed, you are being prepared. What you may see as a delay is actually God doing deep, meaningful work in your life, in your heart, and in your soul. You see, in the rush of our daily lives, we tend to measure time by human standards. We look at the ticking of the clock and the passing of seasons and think, by now, I should have been there already. But God's timing doesn't work that way. It is not bound by hours, minutes, or days. His plans unfold in ways that don't always fit into the boxes we try to build around time. Chosen one, you've been restless, haven't you? I can sense it. There's a part of you that longs for things to happen now. You feel the urgency. You feel like everything is supposed to be unfolding right this very minute. And I get it. The promises God has whispered to you, the dreams you've nurtured, why should they take so long to come to fruition? But I want you to stop right there. What if the wait is not a punishment, but a divine preparation? What if God is preparing you for the very breakthrough that you are waiting for? What if everything that feels like a delay is actually the perfect timing in God's eyes? Here's the key. God's timing isn't about the calendar. It's about readiness. He is not just working on what's to come. He is working on you, on your readiness to step into what He has already prepared.
You're not waiting for something to happen. You're being shaped, molded, and aligned with your destiny. The thing is, chosen one, your journey is more than just reaching the end point. It's about becoming the person you need to be to handle what's coming. And sometimes that means waiting while God works behind the scenes, preparing your heart, your spirit, and your life for the incredible things ahead. We often think of urgency as a necessity for success, don't we? If we hurry, if we force things, we think we'll get to where we need to be faster. But in reality, urgency often leads to mistakes, to decisions made out of fear, or even to trying to skip necessary steps in our growth. God's urgency is not like ours. Where we see a delay, He sees an opportunity to perfect us. He sees that you're almost ready, that you need just a little more refinement. God isn't rushing to give you the desires of your heart, because He knows that if you receive them too soon, you won't be able to sustain them. The success you're yearning for, the breakthroughs you're praying for, they're not just about timing, but about you growing into your capacity to handle them. The truth is, there are so many moving parts in God's plan, things you can't see yet. Behind the scenes, God is working on other people, on relationships, on opportunities that need to be set in place for you to step into the fullness of His plan for your life. Imagine, chosen one, if God gave you what you wanted too soon. Would you be ready to handle it? Would you be able to carry the weight of the blessings you're praying for? Chosen one, do you trust God's process? Do you trust that His timing is, in fact, the most perfect timing there could ever be? The most beautiful and transformative moments of our lives don't happen on our terms. The things we desire most, the things God has in store for us, will come when He knows we are ready. That's why, for now, you're in a season of waiting. Trust that this waiting is not wasted time. Every moment is preparing you to receive what He has already designed for you. You may wonder, why do I have to wait so long? But imagine, if you will, a seed that's been planted.
It takes time for that seed to break through the soil and grow. If someone rushed the process, pulling the seed up too early, it would die before it could bear fruit. In the same way, God is nurturing your spirit and your soul, cultivating you into someone who is strong enough to handle the beautiful life He's preparing. There are times in life, chosen one, when the weight feels unbearable. You may feel like your dream is slipping further and further away, like you're walking in circles. But that's not true. What you think is a delay, God is using to refine you. What you feel is denial is actually God's protection, keeping you from rushing ahead before you're ready. Let's take a step back and think of all the blessings in life that need time to develop. A great relationship isn't built in a moment. It grows over time, with trust, understanding, and sacrifice. The same is true for everything you desire. God's delay is not a sign of His lack of love for you, but rather a sign that He's preparing something that will last. So, as you stand here, waiting, feeling like things should be happening faster, I urge you to trust the process. Trust the waiting. Trust that God is working things out, even when you don't see it. There's no such thing as wasted time in God's eyes. Every single moment is being used to prepare you for something much bigger than what you could ever imagine. Let me reassure you, chosen one, that your time is coming. God's perfect timing is working, and the delay you feel is actually a sign that everything is coming together. The blessings you're waiting for, the love, the success, the breakthroughs, they are on their way. But it's up to you to trust the journey, to trust the process, and to stay faithful while waiting.
Don't rush, don't settle, and don't lose hope. Stay aligned with God's plan and know that everything you're going through right now is just leading you to where you need to be. God's timing is always perfect, and when the time is right, everything will come together in ways you never thought possible. Chosen one, can you feel the shift? Something deep inside you has begun to change. It's like an internal compass, quietly recalibrating, guiding you in a direction that feels both familiar and new at the same time. You may not have the clarity just yet, but you are beginning to see with new eyes. This is the season where God is preparing you to recognize the alignment of your life, the connection between your soul and the divine plan that was always meant for you. There's a reason why you're feeling unsettled in your current environment. It's because your spirit knows something your mind hasn't fully grasped yet. Your spirit is starting to wake up to the truth of your calling, the truth of your purpose, and the truth of your worth. But this awakening doesn't always come in loud bursts of revelation. Sometimes it's a gentle, subtle realization that takes place deep within your being. And when it happens, you know that you're stepping into alignment. You felt it, haven't you? That sense of being out of sync, out of place, as though something in your life was always just a little bit off. You've been trying to fit into molds that didn't fit you, trying to make peace with a version of your life that doesn't truly reflect who you are or who you were meant to be. Maybe you've tried to convince yourself that you're just overthinking, that everything will align eventually. But deep inside, your soul is trying to speak to you, telling you that things have to change. This is not a flaw in your perception. This is God, guiding you to see the truth that has been there all along. The tension you've been feeling, the discomfort you've experienced, all of this is God's way of leading you to a place where your life, your spirit, and your purpose finally align. You have not been wrong or lost. You have been in the process of becoming, and now it's time to see clearly the next step of the journey. As you walk this journey, you'll start to notice how your perception of the world around you begins to shift. Things you once tolerated or accepted will no longer feel right. People, situations, and even environments that once felt familiar will start to feel out of place. And in this discomfort, there's a divine invitation. It's an invitation to see clearly, to see beyond the surface and recognize what is truly meant for you. Seeing clearly is not just about gaining understanding. It's about being able to perceive things as they truly are, free from the distortion of fear, self-doubt, or worldly expectations. God is refining your vision, training you to see the hidden truths of your life and your calling. No longer will you be fooled by the illusions of the world. You will start seeing what truly aligns with your soul and what doesn't. God is not just opening your eyes to what is happening around you, but to what has always been within you. As you step deeper into alignment, you will begin to recognize the gifts and purpose that have been there all along, waiting for you to embrace them. As you learn to see clearly, you will also begin to feel an increasing clarity about your purpose. You won't have to question what you're supposed to do anymore because your soul will know. The pieces that once seemed scattered will fall into place. The confusion will fade away, and what once felt like an impossible journey will become a clear path that you're meant to walk. But here's the thing. Seeing clearly doesn't just happen instantly. It's a process. It's not about having all the answers right now. It's about having the courage to move forward even when you don't have all the details. It's about trusting God's guidance in every step and trusting that as you walk, the way will become clearer. You may feel like you're in a season of uncertainty right now, unsure of what the next step is, and that's okay. Trust that God has already prepared the way for you. You don't have to know everything right now. The only thing you need to focus on is aligning yourself with His will and trusting that He will guide you when the time is right. As you move into alignment, another gift that God will begin to cultivate in you is discernment. This isn't just a matter of seeing things for what they appear to be. This is a deeper level of spiritual insight, the ability to understand not just the surface level of things, but the deeper truths that lie beneath. Discernment is God's gift to you to help you navigate this world with wisdom and grace. It's the ability to know what is good for you, what aligns with your purpose, and what will lead you astray. It's about being able to sift through the noise, the distractions, and the confusion of life, and seeing what truly matters. As you develop this spiritual discernment, you will find yourself making decisions with more confidence, more clarity. You will be able to look at situations and people and know whether they are meant to be part of your journey or whether they are distractions that will lead you away from your divine calling. God is refining your discernment so that you can make choices that lead to greater fulfillment and purpose. You will no longer be swayed by temporary desires or the opinions of others. You will have the spiritual clarity to stay true to what God has placed in your heart. Chosen one, as you begin to see with new eyes, trust in God's timing, His perfect timing. The confusion you felt will start to fade as you align with the rhythm of His will. There's no need to rush. You don't need to force things or try to make them happen on your own. When you are aligned with God's purpose, things unfold naturally, in the perfect time. Trust that the timing of your breakthrough, the timing of your relationships, the timing of your dreams and desires, it is all in God's hands. His timing is always perfect. What seems delayed is simply God's way of positioning you, preparing you, and ensuring that when the time comes, you are ready. It's time, chosen one, to stop rushing, to stop forcing things, and to trust in God's process. He has always been faithful, and He will continue to be faithful as you move forward. Living in alignment means that every area of your life, your career, your relationships, your health, your finances, will fall into place as you submit to God's plan.
You will no longer live in conflict with what God wants for you. You will no longer feel torn between what you want and what God has designed for you. Instead, you will live in harmony with His will. And that's when everything starts to flow effortlessly. Chosen one, your life is about to become a testament to God's goodness, grace, and perfect timing. As you align yourself with His purpose, everything you've longed for will be added to you. But the key is alignment. Trust His timing. Trust His process. The final step in this process of seeing clearly and living in alignment is stepping into your divine calling. This is your moment. The clarity you've been seeking, the direction you've been hoping for, it's all here now. You have been prepared. You have been refined. Now, it's time to walk forward into your purpose with confidence, knowing that God is leading you every step of the way. You no longer need to doubt yourself. You no longer need to question your worth or your place in this world. You are here for a reason, and that reason is unfolding right before your eyes. You may have felt unseen, chosen one. In a world that constantly measures success through external validation, through titles, accolades, and social recognition, it's easy to question if you're truly seen. The quiet moments where you've walked through trials, where your faithfulness was hidden in the dark, are not unnoticed in the eyes of God. This is the truth you must embrace. Heaven has been watching, and your obedience has been marked with divine approval. You see, while others may have questioned your worth, God knew exactly who you were, even when you didn't fully understand yourself. This divine approval was never about how loud you could speak or how much you could accomplish. It was never about winning the approval of those around you. God sees your heart, your willingness to obey, even when no one else was watching, and He's been preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. This is the moment when heaven's verdict on your life is not just about your personal journey, it's about your readiness for what's coming next. Think back to the moments when you chose to do the right thing, even when it cost you. When you walked in integrity when no one was looking, when you chose peace over conflict, or when you made sacrifices others couldn't understand. God noticed every one of those choices. He saw you when no one else did, and He has been keeping record of your obedience. It's not for nothing, chosen one. Heaven is preparing you for the purpose that was always meant for you. This moment of divine approval is a spiritual affirmation that you are ready for the next phase of your journey. God's approval does not come with earthly fanfare, but it is deeply significant. It's quiet, it's gentle, and it affirms that everything you have done in secret has brought you to this place. God has been testing your heart in the quiet places, affirming that your growth has been real. You have learned to be faithful in the midst of silence, and now it's time to step into the light. Heaven's approval means that you are walking in alignment with your calling, and that the next phase of your journey is unfolding. As you stand in this moment of divine approval, you begin to feel a shift in the atmosphere around you. Things that once felt uncertain begin to take shape. What seemed like closed doors are now gently opening, allowing you to walk forward with purpose. The environment around you is changing because God is aligning everything in your life to match your purpose. This divine approval shifts your perspective. No longer will you be seeking external validation or constantly measuring your worth against others. You now know deep in your spirit that you are approved by God, and that's all that matters. The peace you've been waiting for, the confirmation you've needed, is now here. Chosen one, the key to this approval lies in the hidden moments of obedience. When you were faithful in the small things, when you followed God's call even though it didn't make sense, you were laying the foundation for the purpose you are walking into now.
Your obedience in secret has built a strong foundation for the public season that is coming. God doesn't need your outward performance to approve of you. He sees your heart, your sincerity, and your commitment to doing His will. As you step into your next season, remember that what God sees in you is far more valuable than what the world sees. In fact, the world may never understand your journey, but you can rest assured that heaven's approval is all you need to move forward confidently. When God approves of you, His favor follows you. This favor is not just about receiving material blessings. It's about being equipped for the work ahead. You've been given the favor to walk into doors that would otherwise remain closed. People will begin to notice the difference in your life because the favor of God will be evident to them.
This favor is not something you need to chase. It will follow you because it's part of God's design. His favor is not just for you, it's for the people and situations He's aligning you with. This is a season where you will see how God has been working behind the scenes to position you for success, influence, and impact. Whether it's relationships, opportunities, or resources, everything you need to fulfill your purpose is being laid out for you with divine precision. The fullness of God's approval means that you are stepping into the fullness of your calling. This approval is not only a spiritual recognition, but it's a confirmation that you are ready to walk in your divine assignment. As you move forward, you will find that things fall into place more effortlessly. The obstacles that once stood in your way will begin to dissolve because God has gone ahead of you to make a path straight. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust that God's approval is a stamp of assurance that everything He has planned for you is coming to pass. Trust that this approval is a declaration that you are now equipped to handle what is ahead. As you step into the fullness of your calling, remember that God's approval is not just for you. The impact of your life will ripple out and touch the lives of others. The transformation God is working in you is not only for your own benefit, it's to help heal, restore, and elevate those around you. The people you are called to serve will begin to be drawn to you because of the favor and authority that now rests upon you. You have been chosen not only to walk in divine purpose, but to guide others into their own purpose. You are becoming a beacon of light in a world that needs it. Your story will be a testimony of God's faithfulness, and your journey will inspire others to trust in His perfect timing and plan. Now that you have received heaven's approval, it's time to step forward with confidence.
There's no need to look back or question your worth. You are exactly where you are meant to be, chosen one. The approval you've received from God is all you need to walk boldly into your next season. Remember that your identity is anchored in God's love and calling. You are not defined by the opinions of others, nor are you held back by past mistakes or disappointments. You are a vessel of divine purpose, and heaven's approval is your confirmation. As you move forward, know that God has prepared the way for you. You are walking in favor, and nothing can stop the divine destiny that is unfolding before you. This is just the beginning, chosen one. You are about to witness the fullness of what God has been working on in your life. Chosen one, you may have spent many moments in quietness, perhaps even feeling isolated or disconnected from the world around you. In these seasons of stillness, it can sometimes seem like nothing is happening, like you're standing still while everyone else moves forward. But what you may not realize is that this period of silence and solitude is a divine gift, carefully orchestrated by God to prepare you for the future that lies ahead. In a world filled with constant noise, social media, the clamor of daily responsibilities, the rush to meet deadlines and expectations, It's easy to forget that true spiritual growth often happens in the stillness. It's in the quiet spaces where God speaks the clearest and where you are given the opportunity to grow emotionally, mentally, and spiritually without the distractions of the world. Chosen one, the stillness you're experiencing is not a void. It's not a sign that something is wrong or that you're being forgotten. It's an intentional moment of pause. In this silence, you are being taught to trust in God's timing, even when you cannot see the next step clearly. It's easy to trust when everything is laid out in front of you, when you have all the signs and confirmations.
But trust becomes most powerful when you step forward without knowing what's ahead, when you take each step not based on visible signs, but by faith. God is using this quiet time to teach you how to trust without the visible reassurance that you so often rely on. When you have no one else to turn to, no answer to cling to, and no immediate solution, you will learn to lean into His voice with even greater confidence. He's showing you that your trust in Him doesn't have to be contingent on what you can see or touch. Your faith will become stronger, more steadfast, and unshakable as you learn to rely on God's promises, even when you can't see how they will be fulfilled. The silence, the solitude, it's not a season of inactivity. It's a season of deep preparation. You are being prepared emotionally, mentally, and spiritually for something far greater than what you've known. Just as a tree grows strong roots in the quiet depths of the earth before it can bear fruit above ground, you are being strengthened in ways that will soon be evident in your life. Emotionally, you are being taught how to manage your feelings, how to not be swept away by the chaos of the world. You are being equipped with resilience, learning to find peace even in the storms of life. The emotional maturity you are building now will be essential for the future, especially when faced with the responsibilities that will come with your divine purpose. Mentally, God is helping you sharpen your mind. You are being guided to focus on what truly matters, letting go of distractions that don't align with your calling. Your mind is being prepared to receive greater wisdom and discernment, so you will make decisions that reflect God's will, rather than reacting impulsively to the pressures of life. The clarity that is developing in you will allow you to navigate future challenges with calm and wisdom. Spiritually, this season is preparing you to be deeply rooted in God's presence. Solitude is not loneliness. It is a place where you learn to hear His voice more clearly, where you can sense His direction without interference. You are being molded to be more sensitive to His leading, more attuned to His presence, and more confident in His will for your life. During this time of stillness, it may feel as though the world has left you behind, that everyone is moving forward while you remain in a place of waiting. But this absence of external noise is not a punishment. It's not a sign that you are being isolated or rejected. It's a purposeful season where you can focus on your connection with God and with yourself. You are being allowed to get to know the deepest parts of who you are without the distractions of society's expectations. The world often tells you who you should be, what you should do, and how you should feel. But in this quiet space, you are given the gift of truly discovering your authentic self. You can connect with your soul in a way that the noise of the world prevents. It's in this silence that you find out what really matters to you, what you truly desire, and what God has placed in your heart. When you learn to connect with yourself and God in the quiet, you will emerge more sure of your purpose and more aligned with your divine calling. You'll understand your place in the world and be equipped with the wisdom to act when the time comes. This solitude is a precious moment where you can truly understand who you are in God's eyes, free from the pressures of outside opinions. The silence and stillness might not always feel easy. You may struggle with feelings of impatience or frustration, wishing for more movement or clarity. But chosen one, understand this. This time is not wasted. Every moment of stillness is part of the process. Every quiet day, every day of waiting, is part of the work God is doing in you. In this time of preparation, trust that God is not withholding something good from you.
He is getting you ready for what He has already planned. It's not that you aren't ready yet. It's that you are being prepared to step into something greater than you ever imagined. Just as the farmer waits for the right season to harvest, so too must you wait for the right time to step into the fullness of what God has prepared for you. The fruit of your labor will come in due season, but it is this quiet time that ensures you will be able to handle the harvest when it arrives. When the external world grows quiet, the internal world has space to grow. It's in the stillness that you learn to appreciate the peace that only God can provide. During this time, the world may not make sense, and you might not see the way forward clearly, but there is peace in knowing that you are being held. Solitude isn't about isolation, it's about intimacy with God. The absence of noise is a form of divine invitation, inviting you into deeper communion with Him. In this sacred space, you learn to rest in God's love and trust His timing without the need to rush ahead. As you embrace the stillness, you'll find that your confidence in God's timing grows stronger. You'll begin to trust that He knows exactly what He is doing, even when things feel uncertain. Your confidence won't come from your circumstances. It will come from a deeper understanding of who you are in Him and what He has promised. In the quiet, you are learning to trust that God is working even when you can't see it. This stillness is where your strength and foundation are being built. You are being grounded in His love and His purpose, so that when the time for action arrives, you will be able to step forward with complete trust and confidence. Chosen one, embrace the stillness. This is your time to grow, to heal, and to align with the purpose that God has already written for you. When the noise fades away and the distractions are gone, you will see clearly.
You will understand the steps that led you here, and you will know exactly what to do when the time is right. God is preparing you for something monumental. The silence is not a void. It is a divine invitation to come closer to Him, to hear His voice more clearly, and to receive the peace that comes from aligning with His will. This is your time to be strengthened. This is your time to find clarity. This is your time to discover the depth of your connection with God and the fullness of your purpose. Trust the process, embrace the peace, and prepare for the incredible things that are coming your way. Chosen one, there is a process happening in your life that you may not fully understand yet. It's a quiet work, invisible to the human eye, but immensely powerful. God is working in the hidden places of your life, cultivating the foundations that will eventually sustain the relationship and destiny you're being prepared for. Just as a seed is buried in the soil, unseen by those around it, yet it grows into something strong and fruitful, so too are you growing in ways that aren't visible right now. It's in the solitude, in the quiet moments, when you're not being watched or validated, that God is working the most. The world may seem to overlook you, but heaven is watching. These moments of stillness are not wasted. They are foundational to the strength you will need to carry the blessings and responsibilities that will come your way. The work that is being done in the hidden places is laying a solid foundation for your future. God is intentionally allowing you to experience solitude, not as a punishment, but as an opportunity for growth and refinement. During this season,
You are learning how to depend on God rather than seeking external validation. In the quiet, you are being strengthened spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. These moments, though sometimes painful and uncomfortable, are shaping you into a person who can withstand the weight of what's to come.
Chosen one. In the hidden places, God is teaching you an important lesson, learning to rely on Him alone. This time is not about seeking the approval of others or measuring your worth by external achievements. It's about deepening your trust in God, understanding that your value and purpose come from Him alone. There's a temptation to look to the world for validation, but God is calling you to shift your focus inward, to depend on Him for guidance, comfort, and strength. You might find that during this season, you're not receiving the recognition or support that others around you are getting. You might feel overlooked, misunderstood, or even lonely. But know that this is the perfect environment for God to refine your character. He is removing distractions and excess noise, helping you to focus on what truly matters, your relationship with Him. God is teaching you to find your validation in Him, not in the applause of others. It's in this solitude that you're learning to stand firm, knowing that you are fully loved and accepted by God, regardless of external circumstances. God is also showing you the importance of patience. Just as seeds don't sprout overnight, the work He is doing in you will take time. The pressure and waiting can feel overwhelming, but this is all part of the process. God knows that you are being prepared for a greater calling, and He is making sure that you are spiritually, mentally, and emotionally ready for what lies ahead. Trust that He is with you in this season, guiding you, teaching you, and strengthening you for the incredible plans He has in store. In the hidden places, God is building resilience in you. The struggles and challenges you face during this time are not meant to break you, but to strengthen your inner resolve. God is teaching you how to endure, how to keep moving forward, even when it feels like progress is slow or non-existent. This is the type of resilience that will be essential when you step into your future purpose. You've probably felt times when it seemed like nothing was happening, or when you were faced with obstacles that seemed insurmountable. Yet, through it all, you've continued to hold on. You've continued to press forward, even when you didn't have all the answers. This is resilience in its purest form, and it's exactly what you need to handle the weight of your calling when it becomes visible. God is also teaching you to trust in His timing. It can be difficult to wait, especially when you feel ready for the next chapter of your life. But God is doing a work in you that will equip you for everything He has planned. Trust that His timing is perfect, and that everything He is teaching you in this season will be crucial when the time comes for you to step into your purpose. Another key aspect of God's work in the hidden places is preparing you for the relationship you are destined to have. Whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, or a divine partnership of another kind, God is shaping you to be able to handle it with grace, wisdom, and strength. In the hidden places, God is showing you how to build trust in yourself and in Him. He is refining your ability to communicate, to be patient, and to trust in the process. This preparation is essential because the partnership you're going to step into will require trust and emotional maturity. The lessons you're learning now will allow you to enter this partnership with confidence and stability, knowing that you are not only prepared for it, but that you are ready to build something beautiful with the right person. God is also using this time to help you heal and release any baggage or past wounds that may hinder your ability to connect with your future partner. You may not yet see the full picture, but trust that God is making space in your heart for what He is preparing for you. He's healing your heart, teaching you to love in a healthy, balanced way, and ensuring that when the time comes, you will be ready to give and receive love without fear or hesitation. In this hidden place, God is teaching you the most important lesson of all,
how to walk in alignment with His will. This means trusting Him even when you can't see the road ahead. This means surrendering your plans and desires and submitting them to God's perfect design. It's in these quiet moments that you're learning to trust that God knows what's best for you and that His plans are far greater than your own. As you walk in alignment with God's will, you'll begin to see the pieces of your life fall into place. You'll begin to recognize the work God has been doing behind the scenes, and you'll understand that everything has been part of His divine plan. The foundation He is building in you during this time will allow you to stand firm when the winds of life blow, and will give you the strength to carry the purpose He has placed on your life. Chosen one, embrace this season of hiddenness. Embrace the quiet, the solitude, and the stillness. While the world may not recognize the work God is doing in you right now, heaven is watching. God is shaping you into the person you need to be to fulfill your divine calling. The trials, the waiting, the quiet moments, they are all part of God's perfect plan to prepare you for what's ahead. Know that you are not forgotten, that every moment of solitude is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more aligned with God's will. You are being prepared for something incredible, something far beyond what you can imagine. Trust the process, trust God's timing, and know that when the time is right, He will reveal the fruit of this season to you. The work He is doing in the hidden places is going to bear fruit, and you will step into your destiny with the confidence and strength that God has built in you during this time.
Let this season of preparation be a reminder that you are being made ready for greatness. You are not just waiting for something to happen. You are being shaped into someone who is capable of receiving the incredible blessings that God has prepared for you. Keep trusting, keep growing, and know that your future is secure in His hands. Chosen one, you've walked a long road, one filled with trials and questions, where every turn and every setback seemed to bring you closer to the edge of confusion. You've faced moments when you felt lost, unsure of your path, unsure of your worth, unsure of what comes next. But in all of this, you've been learning a vital lesson, one that is not always easy to grasp: how to operate from alignment rather than fear or desperation. In the past, it's possible that you made choices out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of missing out, fear of never finding what you were looking for. And perhaps you've settled into relationships or situations that seemed right at the time, only to discover later that they were not in alignment with God's perfect plan for your life. You were simply acting out of the deep-seated need to fill a void, to escape loneliness, or to soothe the discomfort of the unknown. But now, you've begun to realize that you don't have to settle. You don't have to act from a place of fear or desperation anymore. You've been training your heart to listen to something deeper, your alignment with God's will. The more you've learned to trust His timing, the more you've become attuned to His voice, guiding you, leading you into peace, wisdom, and discernment. This lesson is one that many struggle with, understanding the difference between good options and God's best. The world offers you many choices: relationships, jobs, opportunities. Each one can look appealing. At first glance, they may seem like the answer to everything you've been waiting for. They offer comfort, stability, and the promise of something better.
But are they truly aligned with God's will for your life? For so long, you may have believed that any opportunity or relationship that came your way must be the right one because it seemed good. And it's true. Many of the options in life can be good,
but they aren't always God's best. You see, good options often look like blessings. They appear to meet your immediate needs and desires. But when you compare them to the deep desires God has placed in your heart, you may realize they fall short of the fullness He has planned for you. When you settle for good options, you forfeit the divine timing and the richness of what God intended for you. You've learned that God's best is not simply about what's good in the moment, but what aligns with His greater plan. It's about His timing, His design, and His perfect fit for your life. You're learning to discern when something is in alignment with God's best, when it fits the divine blueprint He has for you. When you align your choices with God's best, you begin to step into the life you were always meant to live. It's not about rushing towards something just because it feels right at the time. It's about taking the time to wait on God's direction, to trust that He is leading you to something greater than you could have imagined. The journey to alignment also includes learning to avoid counterfeit relationships. These are the relationships that look good on the surface, but don't have the depth, the foundation, or the purpose that God desires for you. You may have encountered counterfeit relationships in your life, relationships that felt intense or exciting, relationships that gave you temporary satisfaction, but deep down, you felt something was missing. Perhaps they were relationships based on external validation or physical attraction, but they never fully met your emotional and spiritual needs. God has been teaching you to recognize when relationships are not in alignment with His purpose.
These relationships often mask themselves as answers to your prayers, but they don't serve the bigger picture. They might look good, but they are distractions. They pull you away from your purpose, keeping you from fully embracing the divine calling that has been set before you. In the past, you might have settled for these counterfeit relationships because of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not finding someone, or fear of missing out. But now, as you've grown in spiritual maturity, you're beginning to see the truth. You are learning to distinguish between the relationships that are aligned with God's will and those that are distractions from your true purpose. God's best for you is not about convenience. It's about a partnership that will help you grow, challenge you to be better, and elevate you to the next level of your divine calling. This partnership won't drain you or distract you. It will complement your journey, and together, you will be able to serve God's kingdom in a way that's impactful and meaningful. The maturity you've gained over time has prepared you for this. You are no longer driven by immediate desires or external pressure. Instead, you are learning to trust the still, small voice of God guiding you. This is a profound shift, a move from being reactive and impulsive to being grounded and discerning. You no longer rush into relationships or opportunities based on external validation. Instead, you take time to pray, to listen, and to seek God's will. With every decision, you are choosing to operate from a place of trust and alignment. Your life is being shaped by God's perfect plan, and as you allow Him to guide you, you will find yourself walking in purpose, peace, and fulfillment. You've learned to trust that your desires are being aligned with God's desires. The waiting, the growth, the moments of uncertainty, all of it was necessary to prepare you for what's coming. You've matured spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, and now you're ready to step into the next phase of your divine purpose. This new season of maturity will allow you to enter a relationship with your spouse with wisdom, clarity, and divine purpose. You are no longer looking for someone to complete you. God has already done that. Instead, you're looking for someone who will walk alongside you, helping you fulfill your purpose and guiding you closer to God's will for your life. As you walk into this new phase, you'll recognize your spouse not as someone to fill a void, but as a divine partner who complements and enhances your journey. Together, you will build a relationship rooted in love,
trust, and mutual growth. This is not a relationship based on timing or convenience. It's a relationship that has been divinely orchestrated, prepared by God, and placed in your life to fulfill His greater plan. As you continue to operate from alignment, you will begin to attract the relationships that align with your calling, relationships that strengthen, elevate, and support the destiny God has placed within you. The relationship you're about to step into is one that's rooted in God's will. No longer will you have to settle for counterfeit relationships or look for validation outside of your relationship with God. You will walk with your spouse in purpose, aligned with God's plan, knowing that your relationship is a divine gift designed to support the greater mission He has set before you. This is the type of relationship that is built on trust, respect, and mutual faith. It will require growth and understanding, but with the foundation of God's love and guidance, you will be able to build something extraordinary. God has been preparing both you and your spouse for this moment, and now, as you walk in alignment with His will, the fullness of the blessings He has for you will be revealed.
As you embrace this season of maturity, trust that God is leading you to your best, and together, you and your spouse will fulfill the divine purpose for which you were both created. This is just the beginning of a beautiful, purpose-driven journey. Chosen one, I know that this season of waiting has felt like it's lasted forever. You've spent countless moments wondering why it feels like everything is in limbo, why the fulfillment of your desires, especially in love, seems so far out of reach. It's easy to mistake this stillness for frustration, confusion, or even abandonment. But I want you to understand something very important. What you're experiencing right now is not a delay in your life's plan. It's part of God's perfect timing. For so long, you've been longing for love, for the one who will stand beside you and share in your purpose. That longing in your heart is valid, chosen one. It's not something you've imagined or made up. It's God-given. But here's the shift that's happening right now. God is teaching you that love, true love, is not something you can chase. It's not something that can be forced or rushed. True love isn't an achievement. It's a divine gift that arrives at the right time in God's perfect timing. This transition from longing to surrender is one of the most important steps in your spiritual growth. You've spent so much time thinking, hoping, and even striving for this connection that it may have felt like the missing piece to your happiness. But God is showing you that this longing, while deep and real, is meant to be surrendered to Him. When you allow yourself to release this longing into God's hands, you open yourself up to receiving love in the way that's best for you. The shift you're going through now is a transition from chasing something to patiently waiting for it to be revealed at the appointed time. I know the pressure you've felt to have it all figured out,
To have the love you've been dreaming of fall into place just as you imagine it. It's natural to want control, especially when it comes to something as important as love. We live in a world that pushes us to chase after things, to grab hold of what we want and make it our own. But you, chosen one, are learning something different now. You are learning to release control over this aspect of your life and trust that God knows exactly when and how the love you long for will come to you. The world tells you that love is something you need to pursue relentlessly. But God says, "Be still and know that I am God." Love is not something that you need to chase or force. The pressure that you may feel, whether from society, family, or even your own desires, can be overwhelming. It can lead you to feel like you're failing because you don't have all the answers. But here's the truth. This season of waiting, this pause,
is a powerful opportunity for you to rest and trust. To trust that God's timing is far better than any plan you could come up with on your own. The longing you feel is valid, but it's meant to lead you to a place of surrender, not anxiety. Surrender doesn't mean giving up on love. It means giving up control over how and when it happens. It means trusting that God is sovereign over your life and that His plans for you are good, far better than anything you could orchestrate by yourself. The world might tell you that you need to have a plan, that you need to make things happen on your own terms. But God is teaching you something far more freeing. You don't have to chase after love. You don't have to try and force it. You simply need to align your heart with His will and trust in the timing that He's orchestrating. This season of surrender is about releasing the weight of trying to make things happen according to your own timeline.
It's about letting go of the fear that you're running out of time, that you might miss your opportunity for love, or that you might not be good enough. God is teaching you that His love is always on time, it never arrives late, and it will always be worth the wait. Surrendering is not about giving up on love. It's about trusting that when the time is right, God will bring the person who is meant for you into your life at the exact moment when you're both ready. Patience is a virtue, and in this season, it's something God is cultivating in you. You might find yourself getting impatient, wondering why the waiting has taken so long. It's normal to feel that way, chosen one. But patience is a sign of spiritual maturity. God is allowing you to grow in this area because He knows that you need to learn how to wait for the right timing without forcing anything and with full trust in His plan. This patience is not about sitting idly by and hoping for the best. It's about growing in faith, trusting in God's promises, and believing that He's working behind the scenes, even when you can't see it. When you surrender and stop trying to make things happen on your own, you allow God to step in and take the lead. The waiting may feel long at times, but it is part of your spiritual growth. God is building patience in you, which will serve you well in your relationship when it comes. He is preparing you to receive love in a way that will not overwhelm you, but will fulfill you. And you can only do that when you've learned the art of waiting. This season of waiting, chosen one, is about letting go of control. You've worked hard, you've prayed, and you've longed for this love. But God's timing is perfect, and His plan for you is greater than anything you can envision. This period of surrender and waiting is a test of your trust in God's sovereignty. It's a call to let go of your own plans and trust that God knows exactly what He's doing.
When you choose to trust, when you choose to surrender, you open yourself up to the kind of love that is built on the solid foundation of God's love for you. You're allowing Him to shape your heart, to prepare you for the love that is meant for you, love that is based on His purpose, His timing, and His will. It's not a matter of waiting for something to happen. It's a matter of trusting that something is happening in you, within your heart, your soul, and your spirit. Surrendering to God's timing does not mean giving up on the desires of your heart. In fact, it's the opposite. When you release your desire for control, you make space for God to fulfill those desires in a way that you never could have imagined. The love that God has in store for you is far beyond what you could ask for or think. He is working in you, shaping you, and preparing you for what's to come. This shift from longing to surrender will allow you to walk into the love story God has planned for you with peace, confidence, and trust. You will no longer feel anxious or desperate for love,
but will confidently step into a relationship that is founded on mutual trust, divine timing, and alignment with God's purpose. As you embrace this shift, you're entering into a new season, one where peace, trust, and divine alignment will guide you every step of the way. The longing in your heart is still there, but now it is being replaced by peace as you wait on God's perfect timing. No longer will you have to chase after love. You will simply recognize it when it arrives, and you will be ready to embrace it with a heart that is grounded in God's love, free from anxiety, and full of trust in His plan. In this season of waiting, chosen one, you are being transformed. The waiting isn't empty. It's full of purpose, full of divine work, and full of the love that God has always had for you. So, let go of your need to control and step into the peace that comes with trusting in God's timing.
When the time is right, everything will fall into place, and the love you've longed for will arrive, exactly as it was meant to.